Welcome to today's June 2nd, 2026 DVMUG Zoom meeting. I'm Lee Wagner. I'll be hosting this meeting. We'll be following the usual scheme of news followed by videos. I have a miscellaneous item. We'll go on to question and answers and social hour. This week's news. This screen is simply to remind me to tell you that this information is already on the DVS in PDF form, so the URLs where they exist are clickable. And if you want to look into more detail on any of the items, you can go there and get them. Following our synopses on these news items. Number one is an overview of the numerous features now in iOS 27. According to Tom Wells from Proper Honest Tech, who actually is reporting on a report from Mark Gurman, managing editor of Bloomberg. The overview being revamped Siri, new AI features, enhanced photo editing, and a customized camera app to Apple Intelligence feel more natural and integrated in the iPhone experience. The specific features: Siri integration, deep integration throughout the system, AI functionality, contextual assistance like rewriting highlighted text, dictation, and email drafting. Camera integration. Camera app will have a dedicated Siri mode for visual intelligence, allowing users to use their camera to point their camera at objects and ask Siri about them. Overall Apple Intelligence integration. Thoughtful and deeply embedded AI integration that feels like a part of the operating system. Siri revamp. Siri will have a dark interface, conversational capabilities, and deep system integration. And new AI features: enhanced photo editing, a customizable camera app with Siri integration, and a redesigned search experience called Search or Ask. The video that follows is a rendering of the above items by Bloomberg News.
Up to announce iOS 27 and a completely revamped Siri in just a couple of weeks, and the stakes couldn't be higher. The company is trying to finally deliver on the Siri vision it first showed off 2 years ago, while proving it can still compete in AI despite falling behind companies like OpenAI, Google, and Anthropic. To give you a closer look at what to expect, we've published illustrations of what the features will likely look like based on information seen by Bloomberg News and people with knowledge of the company's plans. The redesigned Siri lives inside the dynamic island and acts as an always-on co-pilot for searching the web, understanding and locating personal data, and completing tasks across the iPhone, iPad, and Mac. Users can activate Siri with the wake word or power button, launching a new animation. To open a new search or ask interface, you swipe down from the top center of the iPhone anywhere in the operating system. In both cases, after Siri provides a result that pops out of the dynamic island, you swipe down on it to open the conversational view. For the first time, Apple is introducing a dedicated Siri app where those chats will live in a ChatGPT-like interface. Siri is also being integrated directly into the camera as its own tab alongside photo and video for visual intelligence features, such as identifying objects based on what the camera sees. The camera app is also being redesigned for pros with customizable on-screen controls. Apple is planning several additional AI features as well, including a system-wide grammar checker and new photo editing tools, like a feature for reframing the position of a photo or extending an image to fill in gaps with AI. Apple.
Well, any comments or questions? If the always-on co-pilot doesn't make you nervous, how about the rest? Moving on to number two. I've got to do something about this. I hope I can get these pictures are cutting off part of my screen. Number two, we've discussed before that Apple was having difficulty supplying MacBook Neos but were attributing it to the shortages of chips. This report informs that the demand is also an issue amounting to twice the prior anticipation, amounting demand to twice the prior anticipation. Suppliers are racing to keep up with orders of incredibly popular MacBook, according to Oliver Haslam of Apple Insider. Amid ongoing MacBook Neo shortages, Apple has reportedly tasked suppliers with doubling its original ask for 10 million units in an attempt to satiate demand. Quote, that is Ming-Chi, quote, was writing in a lengthy post on the X social network when he noted that Sunny, I'm cut off from reading that word, a new Apple CCM supplier producing the MacBook Neo CCM. A CCM is a self-contained compact module ready to be used in laptops like the MacBook Neo. The MacBook Neo first went on sale on March 11, 2026, and almost immediately saw expected delivery problems by weeks and months. Delivery windows haven't improved much since. Apple's present crack at the low end of the market sells for just $599. It's even cheaper at just $499 for when purchased in an education setting or with a military discount. Any comments or questions? Number 3, just in case you're thinking of sending your grandchild or great-grandchild, for some of us, to college with a new MacBook Neo, the following item tells us how not to obtain it. Gift card scam funnels millions in Apple devices through New Hampshire warehouse, according to Adam Engs of tidbits.com. At New Hampshire's public radio, Todd Bookman writes, New Hampshire appears to be the epicenter of a global criminal operation involving stolen gift cards. Something about warehouses and millions of dollars worth of Apple products, authorities say. The scale of the scheme is mind-boggling. Apple, working with police, determined that the company shipped 46,364 products to a single warehouse in Windham, New Hampshire during a 10-week window this summer, with a total value of $47 million. That works out to an average of $600,000 a day in Apple products to a single location. A separate facility in Amherst received another $35 million in iPhones over the same time period. Bookman's dramatic story provides yet another reason to avoid physical gift cards. The thieves steal cards from retail store shelves. They extract the card numbers and pins. Then they return the cards to the racks. When an unsuspecting customer later buys and loads money onto the card, the thieves, monitoring remotely, immediately drain the funds and use them to purchase Apple products. Those products shipped to warehouses in New Hampshire, chosen for its lack of sales tax, where workers repackage them for export overseas. It's brilliantly evil. The consequences for individuals who unknowingly purchase the tampered cards can also be severe. Attempting to redeem a compromised card can trigger Apple's fraud detection system and lock you out of your Apple account. My recommendation stands: avoid physical gift cards entirely. And if you must, redeem it at an Apple store for physical merchandise rather than adding to the balance of your Apple account. And he ends with a question: at what point does Apple stop offering gift cards because they enable too much harm? Comments or questions?
Are these only Apple gift cards or any gift card?
Well, I think this item was dealing with Apple, but I'm presuming the same capability exists with other gift cards.
Yeah, I don't see why they couldn't do it with the Target gift card just as well.
They do.
Just about any gift
I'm
card
going
that's
to
on a rack
attempt,
is subject to that kind of a
Yeah.
fraud.
I'm going to attempt to get rid of these pictures that are cutting off part of my screen. So give me a moment. There, I think that might do it. Now I'll go back to
I've used Coinstar to give me a gift card code. That way it's coming from inside their own system. It's printed on the receipt and there's no one else who's handled a physical gift card.
What's Coinstar?
Coinstar is where you can put your coins. They're in a lot of grocery stores and the like. You put the coins into the machine and you can opt to get the full value of your coins
Gotcha. Yeah.
as a gift card. If you say, let me go get the cash, they take a certain percentage of the funds. But if you go for gift cards, you get 100%.
Oh,
Only Apple is not always a participant at Coinstar locations. So you have to figure out what they're going to carry at those locations. Great
yeah.
way to get rid of your coins.
Yeah, my credit union's got one of those, but it's free.
It doesn't give you gift cards, though.
No, probably not. Just puts it into your account or you get the cash.
well, news item number 4 portends the creeping demise of the iPad. Apple will launch 2 new products this year that could reshape iPad's future, according to Ryan Christoffel of 9to5Mac.com. When Steve Jobs first unveiled the iPad, he pitched the need for a third device alongside the iPhone and Mac. 16 years of a successful iPad run prove him right. iPhone Ultra and MacBook Ultra being the rumored name addenda for foldable iPhone and touchscreen MacBook, they pose a threat to the iPad. Neither product will have a big impact on iPad sales from the outset, but over time, they could prove the first in a series of dominoes that do. Comments or questions?
Is this because the iPad doesn't have a phone? Am I understanding that right?
I'm thinking it has more to do with the notion that the touchable screen on the Mac is going to do the things that people were turning to iPads for. Is one
Oh,
example.
I see.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Mhm. Number 5 gives specifics on a particularly desirable iOS 27 accessibility feature. Apple teased an iOS 27 feature so exciting I need it right now, says Felipe Esposito of Macworld.com. Macworld reports that Apple's new voice control feature, powered by Apple Intelligence, allows users to naturally speak commands like tap the orange folder instead of rigid voice prompts. This accessibility enhancement hints at a revolutionary AI-powered Siri expected in iOS 27 that understands on-screen context and controls apps conversationally. The feature could transform iPhone interaction for all users, moving beyond current limited Apple Intelligence tools toward truly intuitive voice assistance. He feels that's going to be a real powerful one. Any more comments or questions? Moving on to the videos, which is why I had to get rid of those pictures of us on the side. This again is just to remind me to tell you that this information is at the BBS with clickable URLs. First video is by Gary Rosenzweig of MacMost, 10 reasons why you should be using iCloud Photos. If you aren't yet using iCloud Photos, watch to find out why I love it so much and consider it to be one of the best parts of the Apple ecosystem.
Hi, this is Gary with MacMost.com. Let me tell you why iCloud Photos is one of my favorite parts of the Apple ecosystem. So I love iCloud Photos for many different reasons. If you're not currently using it, let me tell you why I think you should. First, iCloud Photos makes your photos available to you anywhere that you are. For instance, here I am on my Mac and I'm looking in the Photos app and I see all of my photos. But what if I'm not sitting down at my Mac, or if I have a MacBook, I don't have it with me? What if I'm out somewhere and I want to see one of my photos or show a photo to somebody? Well, I've got them all here on my iPhone as well. It automatically syncs. So I could browse through exactly the same photos on my iPhone as I do here on my Mac. And I don't have to do anything special for that. There's no syncing process involved. I don't need to connect my iPhone to my Mac and do something to have the photos go across. They're just automatically on my iPhone, on my Mac, on my iPad, on my MacBook. They're everywhere and I can even get to them on the web. That one reason is all I need to love iCloud Photos. But there are many other reasons as well. For instance, when you take a photo with your iPhone like this, then it's on your iPhone in the Photos app, of course. But how does it get to your Mac? You don't have to do anything special. You don't even have to connect your phone to your Mac or anything. It just automatically syncs to iCloud. And then when you sit down at your Mac the next time, the new photo will automatically be added to your library. It just syncs across from iPhone to iCloud to Mac. And there it is. But what about other cameras? Like if you carry a camera like this and you like to take photos with it, how does this get to iCloud? Well, of course, you could just take the SD card or connect this camera to your Mac and then load it there. But you could do this while traveling as well using a little SD card reader like this, or just connecting your camera to your iPhone. You can then get the pictures onto your iPhone and then they will sync over iCloud. So while you're traveling, you could be doing that and your photos can be in iCloud while you're on the go. When you get home, they're already sitting there on your Mac. Now let's talk about backups. Ideally, you should have your photos well backed up. But a lot of people don't have them backed up at all. They simply take photos with their iPhone and that's it. They're on the iPhone. Someone steals this, they lose it, it breaks, or they forget to transfer the photos when they get a new iPhone, they've lost those photos forever. But with iCloud Photos, that's not a problem. Those photos are saved to iCloud. So if any bad phone, chances are all of your photos are perfectly safe. It's still not ideal. For instance, where a good backup solution would prevent that. But it's way better than having no backup at all. Now, how about having a solution? Well, iCloud Photos enables that as well. You see, if you've got a Mac at home like I do, and you've got the space on the drive, then you should have your settings in Photo Settings iCloud set to download originals to this Mac. That means that all of your photos, the original actual photos and edits and all of your tagging and albums and all of that, they are all there on your Mac. So any backup solution you do for your Mac, either using Time Machine to another drive or some sort of online backup service, that is going to get all of your photos backed up. So you can take a photo with your iPhone, it syncs to your Mac at home, and your Mac at home gets backed up, and you actually have a really good comprehensive backup of all your photos, and one that just works automatically. If you find these videos valuable, consider joining the more than 3,000 others that support MacMost through Patreon. You get exclusive content, course discounts, and more. You can read about it at macmost.com/Patreon. Another thing I love about iCloud Photos is easy sharing. Sometimes you want the photos to break out of your own library and share them with others. So say you're on a trip and you've got a bunch of photos like these and you want to share them. You want to do an online gallery so people could see them. You can simply use the share button here. You could choose shared albums. You can create a new shared album. You can invite people to it so it's private, or you could also go ahead here and set it up so that it's a public site, but one that people need the link to. So instead of having to post picture after picture to a social media platform that maybe not all of your friends use, you can post it to your own little website and add pictures to it as you go. It makes sharing photos while traveling really easy. The other person doesn't even have to have an Apple product at all or an iCloud account to see it if you set it up as a public website. Now, a common problem people have is they want their photos to be automatically shared with, say, their spouse. This could actually be easily done in iCloud Photos. There's something called iCloud Shared Photo Library, and you can read about it right here. It's easy to set up right here in Settings. You just add participants. So say you and your spouse can have a shared library, and then every photo you take you can switch modes. You can set it to only be in your personal library or be in your shared library. So for instance, if my wife and I are traveling together, we can both be taking pictures and see each other's pictures in our iCloud library. There's no messy airdropping things to each other, asking each other for that photo from yesterday. None of that. We just share those photos between our two libraries. And it's easy to change which photos are shared and which photos are personal. And another really cool aspect of using iCloud Photos is it makes migration very easy. Say you get a new Mac, whether it's because something happened to your old Mac or just time for a new one. Or the same thing with an iPhone. All you need to do is sign into iCloud and all your photos are then available on that new device. You don't have to resync or transfer them across or any of that. It's just automatic. I'm still amazed when I hear people say, oh, I had a good photo of that, but it was on my old phone. With iCloud Photos, that's not even an issue. You go from phone to phone over the years, Mac to Mac over the years, and your photos just come along with you. Of course, another really cool aspect of iCloud Photos is you can go beyond your local storage. So of course, under Settings in Photos, you have two options. Download originals to this Mac and optimize Mac storage. With Download Originals, you need to have enough space to store all your photos on that specific Mac. But with Optimize Mac Storage, you don't. Only your most recently viewed photos, they will be local. The rest will be in iCloud, but they will download on demand. And if you have a fast enough connection, you won't even notice that it's downloading your photos as you're viewing them. So this is really useful if you have a Mac that simply doesn't have enough internal storage. But it's also useful in my situation where I have a desktop Mac that is set to download originals to this Mac. So it has everything. But with my MacBook, I don't need that. I have that set to optimize Mac storage. So it's not going to take up a huge portion of that drive for photos. And of course, iPhones and iPads, they're automatically using the optimize feature. So you can keep taking photos even if your iPhone doesn't really have enough space for them. iCloud will handle it. And for the last item, I want to address the idea of being able to see the actual files for your photos. Like for instance, here I am in the Finder and I've got a folder with some photos in it and I can see the files and I kind of feel I have a lot of control over them. But the files here, they're just a metaphor. They're just bits scattered around your local storage and they're put together as a file and you have a name here and then it compiles all those bits into a photo. This is just a way of managing the bits that you've collected as files. And using files, folders, and the Finder is a great general purpose method for handling any kind of file, whether it's a spreadsheet, a PDF, or an image. The Photos app is like the Finder, but specifically for photos. So its features are there so you can view photos, so you can edit photos, so you can organize your photos, and you can easily view the information like location information, the people in the photos, the objects in the photos, things like that. It's like the Finder, but specifically for photos. So it's about having the right kind of app for organizing the right kind of files. You've got your photos in the Photos app using iCloud Photos. You've got all the rest of your files in the Finder for general purpose storage. It's like you put books on bookshelves but you hang clothes in a closet. And that last one's actually more about using the Photos app than iCloud Photos, but they kind of go hand in hand. There are actually a lot of other reasons to use the Photos app, like all the editing and organizational tools as well, that don't necessarily mean you need to use iCloud Photos too. So those are all the reasons why I love using iCloud Photos, and I continue to recommend others use it as well. Hope you found this useful. Thanks for watching.
Any comments or questions?
Well, I'd like to say something, and it's regarding. He's right. He's totally right. But if you're out of the country, you better make sure you have some kind of a plan, special in order to transmit all that data over to here, because it's going to cost you. And it's one thing when it's here in this country where your phone is always on and it functions all over the place. When you're in a different country, you have to get yourself into a plan of some kind that'll supply you with that information.
Actually, that's not totally correct, because if you've got access to Wi-Fi in your hotel or on your ship going up the Danube or wherever, they're going to automatically synchronize using the Wi-Fi. The only thing you got to be careful of, if you're using a telephone service like some of the Verizon plans, you better turn off Wi-Fi when you're making calls, because that'll act as if you're calling from the United States to the restaurant down the street where you're making a reservation, and use the Wi-Fi only for communications. Don't use it for phone calls, but use it to synchronize all your data and get your email and so forth. It's transparent as long as you've got a good Wi-Fi signal that you can piggyback on.
That you have to pay for if you're on a ship.
It depends on the ship. We went on a cruise up the Danube and down the Rhine, and the Wi-Fi was free. It wasn't very fast, but it was free.
Well, that's a point. If you have access to Wi-Fi, that's correct. Also, if you have Wi-Fi connections, make sure you have some kind of a virtual or something on your phone, so nobody's able to look at your phone and when you're transmitting all this stuff. Outside of that, it works just fine.
If you have Wi-Fi calling turned on, and you're on a ship, my last cruise, I was in the middle of the Pacific. I was halfway between here and Hawaii, and I was getting phone calls, and my phone was in airplane mode, but I have Wi-Fi calling enabled because my cell signal at home is lousy, and I was actually receiving calls. So I wasn't answering them because, well, I was on vacation.
All right. Second video is by Ellen Sweeney, iOS Tips for Seniors. iPhone mail tips. View all of your emails in one place. Do you have more than one email account on your iPhone? In this video, I'll show you how to see all your email accounts at once using the built-in Mail app on iPhone. How to find all inboxes in the Mail app. How to view all your emails accounts in one place. What to do if all inbox is missing. How to add another email account to your iPhone Mail, and why this makes email easier for seniors. Go, Ellen.
Welcome to Ellen's Tips for iOS. If we haven't met, I'm Ellen, and on this channel, I help seniors learn how to use their iPhone and iPad with more confidence. And before we jump in, if you'd like even more step-by-step help, be sure to check out my iPhone and iPad Confidence Club, where members get downloadable PDF guides, members-only videos, and monthly live Q&A sessions. The founding members price is too good to pass up. You'll find a link below in the video description. Let's get started. Now, if you use more than one email account on your iPhone, so maybe you use Gmail or iCloud or Yahoo or even another email account, it can be frustrating to keep checking each one separately to make sure you didn't miss something important. In this video, I'm going to show you how to see all of your email accounts at once inside the Apple Mail app, so everything is easier to keep track of. If you're like many of my subscribers, you may have more than one email address for different purposes. Maybe one is for family and friends, maybe one is for online shopping and receipts, and maybe another one is for doctor bills or something else. The problem is, if you're checking only one inbox, it's very easy to miss an important email that came into another account. So this tip can make life a lot easier because instead of jumping from one inbox to another, you can see all of your messages in one place. And for many seniors, simpler is better. Before I walk you through the steps, there's one important thing to know. This works in the built-in Mail app on the iPhone. So if you use a separate Gmail app or the Yahoo app, this video really is about Apple's own Mail app. Also, this works best if you already have more than one email account added to Mail. If you do, great. If not, I'll briefly show you what to check in just a little bit. First, we're going to open the Mail app. And so I have it on my home screen, but if you don't see yours, just swipe over to the app library, tap up where it says app library, and begin typing Mail. Once you see it, go ahead and click on Mail to open it. If you're already inside of one of your inboxes, and you can see that I am by looking directly under Inbox, and it tells me that I'm in my iCloud inbox. If you want to get to the main screen, you may need to tap until you get back to where it says Mailboxes. I'm going to hit the back button. Let me pull down on the screen, and at the top you'll see the Mailboxes screen. Once you're there, look near the top for All Inboxes. When you tap All Inboxes, you'll see emails from all of your accounts together in one combined view. That means instead of checking one inbox, backing out, checking another inbox, backing out, and repeating that over and over, you can simply open one place and scan everything at once. This can be especially helpful if you're waiting for something important like an email from your doctor, a receipt from an online order, or a message from a family member, or maybe you even need to reset your password. So again, the steps are very simple. Make sure that when you open the email, that you're on the area that says All Inboxes. Once you're there, that's it. Now I want to clear up one thing because this sometimes confuses people. When you use All Inboxes, your email accounts are not being permanently merged together. Your Gmail account is still separate. Your iCloud email is still separate. Your Yahoo and Outlook account is still separate. You are simply using one combined view so you can read everything more easily in one place. So think of it like this. You still have separate mailboxes, but now you also have one front door where you can look at all of them together. That's what makes this so convenient. Now, if you open Mail and you do not see All Inboxes, don't worry. The most common reason is that you may only have one email account added to the Mail app. If that's the case, there really isn't anything to combine yet. Another thing you can do is to go to the Mailboxes screen and tap Edit in the upper right corner. Sometimes that will show you mailbox options that you can turn on or off. So here you can see that I have all of these mailboxes turned on. So if you don't see All Inboxes, take a quick look there and make sure that you have that email address available. And if things still don't look right, closing the app or restarting the iPhone is always a simple troubleshooting step that may help refresh things. Now, if you want to add another email account to your Apple Mail, here's where you go. We're going to open the Settings app. This is what it looks like, or type it into where it says App Library. Open the Settings app, scroll to the bottom, and tap on Apps. I'm going to then tap on the M on the right-hand side to get me there a little quicker. And now I'm going to tap on Mail. Once I do, I'm going to tap on where it says Mail Accounts. Depending on your iOS version, maybe you see something a little bit different, but it should basically be the same. And now we're going to tap on an area here that says Add Account. Here you can enter in the email address if you want, or if I tap on Choose from a List, now I'll have the option to choose Google, Yahoo, Outlook, or another option, and then go ahead and sign in with your email address for that account and your password for that account. Once that account is added, go ahead and close this out. You'll come back in, swipe out, and you'll come back into the Mail app. Open it up. And now you'll be able to use the all inboxes now that you have more than one account set up. So if you've ever thought, I wish all my emails would just show up in one easy place, this is how to do it. If you prefer, you can still go back and check each account one at a time. So the nice thing here is that you have both options. You can keep it simple and use all inboxes, or you can go back into the individual inboxes whenever you want. So that's how to see all your email accounts at once on your iPhone. This is one of those small tips that can make a big difference, especially if you have more than one email address and you're tired of bouncing around trying to keep up with everything. If you found this helpful, let me know in the comments whether you use more than one email account on your iPhone or even your iPad. And if you'd like extra help beyond my weekly videos, be sure to check out my iPhone and iPad Confidence Club.
Any comments or questions?
I've been using this feature for some time, but I have to remember that each of the accounts has their own trash bin and their own garbage bin or whatever it is. So don't forget that you got to go over there to clear things out that are you want to throw away.
Actually, if you go to the top of the column where all your mail accounts are, you can create two new trashes. One of them is all trash and the other one is all junk.
Oh, okay.
And that's built right in, but you have to look for it. It's up at the top and you click a little caret and then you can take a choice of what you can create. All junk and all trash. It's very convenient.
You could also set mail to empty trash on quit.
Oh, I see it. Thanks, Rick.
Oh, that's very helpful. Thank you. Moving on. Third video is by Gary Rosenzweig of MacMost. Learn how to use Mac hot corners in 4 minutes. Hot corners are quick and easy ways to reach key system functions without resorting to a keyboard shortcut. Here's how to set them up and what they can do.
Hi, this is Gary with MacMost.com. Here's how to use hot corners on your Mac. So hot corners are a shortcut on your Mac that you use with your mouse or trackpad instead of the keyboard. The way to turn on hot corners is to go to System Settings and then look for Desktop and Dock on the left. Then scroll all the way to the bottom of the Desktop and Dock settings and click on Hot Corners. You're then given this special dialog here that has 4 different little menus, each one corresponding to the 4 corners of your screen. If you select the menu, you can choose the function that is performed when you move the pointer into that corner. So for instance, if you want your list of apps to appear when you move your pointer to that corner, select Apps like that. You can test this out then by moving the pointer to the top left corner, and you can see how this is the equivalent to clicking on Apps in the dock or using a keyboard shortcut to get to Apps. Or for instance, you could set up the corner to reveal the desktop. Then you move your pointer there and all the windows move to the side and you can see the contents of the desktop and access any files and folders you may have there. It's important to note that hot corners act like a toggle, so you can use them once to activate a function and then use them again and it will toggle this off. So the functions you have available are Activate Mission Control, So you can access your Spaces and full screen apps easily. Application windows, also known as App Expose, so you can see all the windows of the current app and switch between apps using this. View the desktop, bring up Notification Center on the right, go to your apps list, start the screensaver. So instead of waiting for it to reach the time when the screensaver would start automatically, it just starts when you jam the pointer into that corner. You could also disable screensaver. That works a little differently than the rest. You put the pointer in that corner and screensaver won't start as long as the pointer is there. You can also just go right into sleep mode by using a hot corner, or instantly lock the screen rather than waiting for the screensaver to start or the amount of inactive time to be reached. This is particularly useful when your Mac is in a kind of a public place, like in an office with cubicles, or it's a MacBook, and you want to be able to lock the screen quickly without really paying attention to specific menus or keyboard commands. You can just jam the pointer into that corner and see your screen lock. You could also choose this last option here, which disables that hot corner. I've got other videos that go into detail about how to use these features like Mission Control, App Expose, and Notification Center. Typically, the bottom right hot corner is set to Quick Note, which will activate the Notes app's Quick Note function, allowing you to type into a note without even launching the Notes app. If you find these videos valuable, consider joining the more than 3,000 others that support MacMost through Patreon. You get exclusive content, course discounts, and more. You can read about it at macmost.com/Patreon. Now, if you like the idea of hot corners but find it's too easy to activate them, then you have the option of using a modifier key to make it harder to trigger them. So for instance, for the top left corner, I could have it set to apps, but if I hold down, say, the command key, you could see the command symbol appear there. Now this hot corner will only activate if I'm also holding down the command key. You can use Option, Control, and Shift, or any combination of all four of those, and those keys would need to be held down for the hot corner to work. One thing to note about hot corners is they're a little more difficult to use if you have multiple displays. They will only work in the most extreme corner of all of the different screens you have. Whether you use hot corners is up to you. Some people love them and will assign things to all four corners. Other people just set them all to nothing and just don't use this feature. Hope you found this useful. Thanks for watching.
Well, comments or questions?
I missed how he set up hot corners to begin with. Where was that in? Where was that?
Well,
Desktop and dock.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
You can type hot corners in the search box in settings.
Oh, sure. Okay.
all right. Fourth video is by Rich Bowen, iPhone Basics for Seniors, 6 super handy camera tips. Learning how to use your iPhone camera doesn't have to be complicated. In this video, I'll show you 6 simple camera tips that will help you take better photos starting today. No experience needed. Whether you just get a new iPhone or you've had one for years, these tips will make a real difference.
One of the best things about having an iPhone in your pocket is that it means you have an incredible camera in your pocket, and it never runs out of film. Hi, my name is Rich, and I make easy to follow videos on how to use your iPhone and iPad, without going nuts. Today, I've got a handful of tips about the camera. And I know what some of you are thinking, Rich, I already know how to take a photo. But here's the thing. Most people are only using about half of what the iPhone camera can actually do. And once you know these tips, my guess is your photos are going to look noticeably better. By the end of this video, you're going to feel a lot more confident every time you pull the iPhone out of your pocket and take a picture. Before we get started, I'm using the base iPhone 17 and it's running iOS 26. But even if you have a different iPhone or different operating system, my guess is nearly all of these tips should work for you. All right, tip number 1, and this one alone might change how you use your phone every day. Have you ever started to take a photo of something, a beautiful sunset, your grandson doing something cute, And by the time you found the camera app and opened it, the moment was gone. Yeah, well, we've all been there. So here's the fix. You do not need to unlock your phone and go hunting for the camera app. There's a shortcut built right into your iPhone. All you have to do is swipe left on your lock screen. That's it. One swipe and the camera opens instantly, even before you type your passcode. Apple put that there specifically so you never miss a moment. Now, if your phone is already unlocked, you can also swipe down from the top right corner of the screen to open Control Center, and there's a camera button right there too. If you don't see it, you can always add it by tapping Add Control, and then search for the camera app, type that in, and then tap on it and you're good to go. Of course, if you have a camera control button, like I do on my iPhone 17, you can just click it like a camera shutter to open the camera and then click it again to take a photo. That's probably the easiest way to do it if you have that. 3 ways to get there fast. Practice that swipe this week and it'll become second nature. Okay, tip number 2, and this one's going to make your photos look so much sharper. A lot of people just open the camera and hit the shutter button right away, and sometimes that works fine, but the iPhone doesn't always know what you want to photograph. It makes its best guess, and sometimes its guess is wrong. Here's what to do instead. Before you take the photo, tap on the thing you actually want to be in focus. See that little yellow square that pops up? That means the iPhone has locked its focus right there. Now your subject is going to be sharp and clear, and the background might even blur out a little, which, makes your photos look really professional. And here's a bonus trick. Once you do tap to focus, you'll see a little sun icon appear next to the yellow square right there. If you slide that sun up or down with your finger, you can make the photo brighter or darker before you shoot. So, tap your subject, adjust the brightness, and then take the photo. It sounds like a lot more steps, but once you do it a few times, it only takes a second. And your photos will look dramatically better. Hey, if you're finding this helpful, please consider subscribing. It really does help this channel reach more people who could use a little iPhone help in their life. And besides, subscribing to my channel is free. Now, tip number 3, and this is the one that makes people say, wow, did you take that with your phone? On most iPhones, there is a mode called Portrait Mode. What it does is keep your subject, a person, a pet, a flower, beautifully sharp and in focus, while it softly blurs out the background. It's the effect you see in professional photos, and your iPhone can do it automatically. To get there, open your camera and look at the row of words along the bottom. Photo, video, portrait. Slide over to portrait. Now, point the camera at a person, or in this case, I'm going to use my HomePod Mini, and watch what happens. The background goes soft and dreamy while the speaker stays perfectly clear. The iPhone will even tell you if you need to move closer or farther away to get the best result. Then just tap to focus if you need to and take the shot. Let me just say this. Portrait mode looks best with people and pets at a distance of about 2 to 5 feet. It's not ideal for landscapes or wide scenes, but for photos of your grandchildren, your family at dinner, your dog in the backyard, it is absolutely brilliant. Be sure to give that a try. Pretty simple. Tip 4, and this one is quick but really important. When you want to get closer to something, the instinct for most people is to pinch and zoom on the screen with 2 fingers, and yes, that works. But if you zoom in that way too far, your photos start to look grainy and blurry. Just the quality goes down. So here's what to do instead. Look for the small numbers at the bottom of your camera screen. You'll see 0.5, 1x, 2x, and depending on your iPhone model, maybe even 3x or 5x. These are your optical zoom buttons, and just tap them. When you use those buttons, the iPhone uses its actual camera lenses to zoom, not just, digital trickery. That means the photos stay sharp and clear even when you're zoomed in. So the rule is, use the zoom buttons, not the pinch gesture. Your zoomed in photos will really, truly look so much better. Tip number 5, this is a quick setting change that makes a big difference in how your photos are composed. My wife really needs to follow this tip. Have you ever taken a photo and when you look at it later, the horizon is, slightly crooked, or the subject is right in the corner when you didn't mean it to be? The grid can help with both of those things. The grid puts a simple tic-tac-toe pattern over your camera screen. 3 rows, 3 columns. It's just a guide. It doesn't appear in your actual photo. To turn it on, go to your Settings app, then scroll down to Camera, and then tap Grid to turn it on. Now, when you take a photo, you can make sure the horizon sits along one of those lines rather than going diagonally across the screen. And for portraits, placing your subject at one of the intersecting points rather than dead center actually creates a more pleasing, natural-looking photo. Photographers call it the rule of thirds, but all you need to know is use the grid lines as a guide, and your photos will look more balanced. And our 6th tip, the camera modes. This one trips a lot of people up. When you open the camera app, you're always in photo mode by default, and that's good. But there is a whole row of other modes along the bottom of the screen, and let me walk you through the main ones. Of course, photos is your everyday mode for still images. That's where you'll be most of the time. Video switches the camera to record moving video. Instead of the white shutter button, you'll see a red record button. Tap it once to start and then tap it again to stop. You'll see slow-mo right here. Slow-mo records video that plays back at a much slower speed. This is brilliant for capturing a grandchild blowing out birthday candles or a dog catching a ball or anything where action happens fast and you want to sort of savor every second of it. I don't want to get into too many tips, but there's also time-lapse, cinematic, spatial, and panoramic modes. I'll cover those in some other video. I don't want this to get too complicated. But all you have to do is swipe left or right along the row to switch between modes. And remember, if you've switched to video and you want to take a still photo, just swipe back to photos first. It's pretty easy. And that's it. 6 tips that'll genuinely change the way you use your iPhone camera.
Comments or questions?
He's like everybody's uncle. He's so great.
Yeah. I didn't realize about the sun being able to brighten and dim the picture, and that could be useful to me.
Yeah, a lot of it's very helpful. He's pretty good at this.
I have a question. He talked about how it should stay on photo mode as default. Mine does not. It always seems to want to go somewhere else. Video especially. Am I doing something wrong or
Yeah.
what?
You need to go to camera and then make your choices. And I believe it says save choice or lock choice, something like that.
Save last settings or something like that.
Yeah.
Well, I think I have that, but I'll look again.
Well,
Unsave last settings and use
It's
video.
called preserve settings.
That's it.
That's it.
Okay.
All right. 5th video is by Sam Cambeadis. Let your phone remember everything so that you don't need to. 2 free apps are already on your iPhone and iPad that can make your everyday life so much easier. Apple Notes and Reminders. In this video, I share practical ways to use both so you never forget the important stuff again.
Hey guys, in today's video, we're talking about 2 apps that are already on your iPhone and iPad, and they're completely free. And I genuinely think they can make your everyday life a little bit easier. I'm talking about Apple Notes and Reminders. Most people have them sitting right there on their phone and barely use them. So today I want to show you how I use both of them and hopefully give you some ideas along the way. So let's start with Apple Notes. I want you to think of it like an extension of your memory. Anything worth remembering, just put it there. Let me give you a real example of how useful it can be. My fridge recently died and I needed to sort a new one out pretty quickly. The first thing I did was grab my phone, measure the space where the fridge was going, and save those measurements straight into notes. Then I did a bit of research, looked up some fridges I liked the look of, and saved the links to those pages directly into my notes so I could refer back to them later. So by the time I walked into the store ready to buy, I already knew which fridge I wanted to look at. I knew they would fit and I knew they were in my price range. I just walked up to the sales assistant, told her which ones I wanted to check out, so choosing the right fridge was so much easier. All the hard decisions were already done before I even walked through the door. And that's just one example, but it shows you how powerful it can be just getting things out of your head and into notes. Another situation I use it for is after doctor's appointments. You've just seen the doctor and sometimes there's a lot of information to take in, and by the time you get home, you've already forgotten half of it. So what I do is I jump in the car straight after the appointment, open notes, and I just dictate everything while it's still fresh in my mind. And that brings me to something a lot of people don't realize. You don't have to type. Just tap the little microphone on the keyboard and speak. It transcribes as you go. It's pretty accurate and it's so much faster than just typing, especially when you're busy. And those are just two examples. There are so many little ways notes can come in handy day to day. You could keep a running list of gift ideas throughout the year, so when Christmas or birthdays come around, you're not scrambling at the last minute. And you can also have individual notes for people in your life. So if you're chatting with someone and they mention something they love, or you want to remember their coffee order so you can surprise them with a coffee next time you see them, you can just write it down in your notes. You can even use it to save recipes you want to try, write down books, TV shows, or movies someone has recommended before you forget them, notes for things that you're going to do on your next trip, a packing checklist. The list goes on. Now, one thing I wanted to mention, don't be scared of having a lot of notes. Text takes up almost no storage on your device, so just write everything down. The more you use it, the more useful it becomes. To keep things manageable, just create a few folders, something like home, health, family, or travel, or even just personal and business. You can also create subfolders if you want to go a bit deeper, but don't overthink it. Just pick a few broad categories that suit your life and go with them. Within those folders, you can pin your most important notes right at the top so they're always there, easy to find. And the search function works really well too. Even if you end up with hundreds of notes, you can find anything in seconds just by typing a keyword. Okay, now let's talk about reminders. If notes is for holding on to information, reminders is for making sure you actually act on the things. Think of it as a tap on the shoulder at exactly the right time. There are so many things in day-to-day life that we either forget or push to the back of our minds. Need to pay a bill? Set a reminder. Do you always forget to put your bin out the night before collection? Set a recurring reminder and it pops up every single week without you having to think about it. Need to cancel a subscription before it renews? Reminder. Need to take medication at the same time each day? Reoccurring reminder. School permission slip due? Reminder. Car registration coming up? Reminder. Those small everyday things add up, and having them pop up on your phone at the right time means you're not carrying all of it around in your head. One of my favorite ways to use reminders is for a shopping list. Just add things throughout the week as you run out of them, and then by the time you go shopping, your list is almost done. And if your partner or someone else in your household has an iPhone too, you can share the list with them so you can both add to it and see everything in real time. Whoever ends up at the shops first can just open the list and it's all there. And the best part is you don't even need to open the Reminders app to set a reminder. You can just tell Siri, remind me tomorrow at 8 a.m. to put the washing on. So that is really it. 2 free apps already on your device that can genuinely take a lot of mental load off of your day. You don't need a complicated system, just start using them, even if it's in small ways. And one last thing, if you don't already have the Notes and Reminders app on your home screen, go add them now. The easier they are to access, the more likely you are to actually use them. Even just seeing them on your home screen is a little reminder to use them throughout your day. I'd love to know, are you already using Notes and Reminders, or is this something you're going to give a go? Drop a comment below and let me know. And if you haven't already subscribed yet and you enjoyed this video, it would mean a lot to me if you did. I am so close to 100,000 subscribers, so every sub helps me get closer to achieving that. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next.
Well, comments or questions?
Well, what she said is very helpful, but quite frankly, with my doctor, I just hit voice memo and record it and then deal with it when I get home. If I could remember out to the car, I could remember to the time I got home. It's just easier for me just to record it as it goes.
I have
Mike, you should get a after visit summary with your
I
doctor
do.
thing.
I
Okay,
do.
well that's
From
that's
Kaiser, I get it, but I mean, sometimes it's just I don't deal with that. It's just easier to say, okay, so
yeah, one more thing about that. She didn't mention that you can actually add an address to a reminder and have it automatically notify you when you get there. In other
yeah.
words, if you go to Costco, your Costco list opens up and there it is. But
And
anyway,
reminders are now also linked up to calendars. So you could say, hey,
yes.
Apple lady, show an appointment on December the 15th at 7:15 a.m. for Dr. Williams at his location. Or you can put the address in too if you like. And
No,
it works. But what I find most useful is I've created a list called called general shopping.
there you go.
And if I'm in the kitchen working on something and I see I'm low on ketchup or Worcestershire sauce or need some string beans, I'll usually say, hey, Apple lady, I won't say that word, but hey, Apple lady, add string beans to my general shopping list
Yep.
or whatever. And she says, okay, I've added it to your general shopping list, but you can then also set the general shopping list so that it creates categories like meat, dairy, vegetables, and so forth. And that's automatic.
Yeah.
It's wonderful.
Yeah. I even break it down further. I always say, Siri lady, add XYZ to my Costco Sam's Club list or my
Yeah.
Trader Joe's list or my Safeway list.
Yep.
And then we'll break it. And then the app breaks it down further.
Yep.
So when I go to TJ's, I can just open it up and it'll just give me everything at TJ's. The reminders are very helpful.
My doctor
Jan has a
this morning,
question.
Jan.
Not a question. I'm just the opposite. So for lists for different stores, I buy certain things at Ralph's and certain things at Trader Joe's, etc. So I have a little notepad in a drawer for each one of them, and it's much faster and easier to just jot down what I'm going to get there.
So when you want to use a phone, you just hook up your little cup, a glass to a string and do it. Or you get out the old
Right.
I
horsey
have my
buggy.
lists available on my wristwatch. So as I'm
Exactly.
shopping, I just look at the watch and I check them off and they go poof, they disappear from the list.
Well, that's if you want to be Dick Tracy, but that's a very good thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
doctor
Jan,
is-
so easy. You just tell it to set up a certain list and it'll set it up for you. And it's going to ask you if you
Yep.
want anything added, and you tell it, and it's
But
that's
like
it.
you were saying earlier, Bruce, I like the one, hey, Apple lady, remind me when I get home to feed the dogs or something,
Right,
or mail
right.
that check. And then when you get within like half a block of your house, the reminder comes up.
There you
And
go.
it says, there you go.
It takes a little work because you got to add addresses and stuff, but outside of that, it just
Yeah, but once they're
automatic.
in there, so it's easy.
this morning, my doctor had a cardio checkup and it never done this before. He pulled out his iPhone and he said, "Can I record this?" And I looked at his phone and it said AI. He said, "Oh, you're going to record an AI summary?" And he said, "Yeah." Then I check it over and then that's how I record my notes.
You obviously haven't been watching The Pit. That's how they're doing it.
Yeah.
But it's a lot
Doesn't it
better.
make you a little uncomfortable?
No, my doctor has got built-in microphones in the office and they just say, is it okay if we do this? And then it paraphrases it. They give you the summary at the end. You can approve it or disapprove it.
Yeah.
It's wonderful.
Yeah, he said he does that, and I told him a little story about AI hallucinating on something that I wrote and ended up on the web with the wrong dates. And, he said, yeah, you got to review it afterwards and make your corrections.
A quick question for Rick. Rick, when you had that 7:15 doctor's appointment, was it concerning insomnia, or what the heck were you doing at a doctor's at 7:15 in the morning?
Yeah, really.
And did I say 7:15? That
Yeah.
sounds like my cardiac rehab.
Like in the morning, it's like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Later on in the day, they're all behind schedule, though.
But I make an appointment I can call at 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock, get in a Zoom meeting real quick at 2:15 or something, and I'm good to go.
My doctor usually has, they call it a scribe, actual person who types in all the notes, but I'm sure her job will be gone soon.
Yeah, just like a
She's not long for this world.
Yeah.
That job is history.
A job lost to an AI thing, huh?
Yeah, one of the first, I'm sure.
Well,
I have an unrelated question. Can I find do we have a list of the members so I can look at a list of members to see who's on the list?
No. We do have a database, but we don't share it for,
right.
Some people don't want their names. We promise them confidentiality. We don't disseminate that list at all.
Is there a way the board would consider getting people to say, no, it's fine? Isn't it at people's discretion? It would help to have a directory, I think.
That's too complicated.
Some of us are in witness protection.
Who's going to manage it?
There you go.
I belong to a PC group that publishes
we'll have that going on.
members.
There's a big
one at a time, guys. We can't hear either of you.
Thanks.
Okay, here's a suggestion. If you go on the BBS and somebody else is on the BBS or has an account there, all you have to do is type their first name or my name, type J space S or John. You'll see all the Johns. You don't even have to remember their last name.
Like you're sending a message or something? Where do you type it?
Yeah, type new message and type Dick, and it'll show anybody with the word Dick on there. Or you don't even have to, anything you can remember about their name, you put it in there and you can search.
And if you type in something that doesn't exist, it'll tell you it doesn't exist.
That's for only the people who have accounts on the BBS. And there's many of them that don't log in and read anything. You send them a message, they may not read it, but at least you'll find their name.
Yeah.
But the answer to you, Sharon, it's a security thing.
I know. Privacy.
I'm just curious, how many members are there?
I mean, your privacy is online. You're still risking your privacy, but it's okay, right? It's by your personal. If you wish to risk it.
Well, some of us don't.
Isn't it up to you? No, not that everybody would. Just to say that it's okay. Like every time you renew your membership, you can say, yeah, it's okay to put my name out there.
To tell you the truth, nobody's ever asked for that before, so I don't think it's worth the trouble. You're not going to get a lot of people. Out of all the people, they'd all have to make the choice. You're looking for somebody they don't approve, you wouldn't find them. Maybe you don't think, that's too complicated. I don't think that would work. Get on the BBS, people.
Can you say how many members there are?
170.
That's pretty good.
I mean,
we used to have 700. It's not pretty good.
Well, LAMG used to have 5,000, I think.
Yeah, I don't think other user groups are doing that, are they?
No membership wants to allow their membership information to get out.
Yeah, this PC group I belong to does.
No,
it's just let's get on to the last video.
Yes.
6 video of Apple support. How to use sound recognition and name recognition on iPhone. Learn how to set up sound recognition on your iPhone so it continuously listens for certain sounds like a doorbell or a siren or a baby crying and notifies you when it recognizes these sounds. We'll also teach you how to set up name recognition so your iPhone can listen for your name and notify you. This is pretty interesting.
With iOS 26, your iPhone can continuously listen for sounds like alarms, pets, and more using sound recognition, or your name using name recognition, and then alert you with a notification. First, we'll teach you how to set up sound recognition, and then we'll show you how to set up name recognition on devices with a supported location and language. Let's start by setting up sound recognition, so your iPhone can notify you when selected alarms, household alerts, and other sounds occur. In Settings, scroll down and tap Accessibility. Next, scroll down, tap Sound and Name Recognition, and then tap Sound Recognition. Now, tap to turn it on. You might need to wait for your iPhone to download the available sounds to your device. Let's select a sound that your iPhone will listen for. You can turn on recognition for multiple sounds. Tap Sounds and choose a sound. We'll tap Door Knock. Next, tap to turn on recognition for this sound. You can also choose an alert tone to play when your iPhone notifies you that your selected sound is recognized. Tap Alert Tones and choose a tone you want to use. From now on, whenever your device detects one of the sounds you selected, you'll receive a notification with your chosen alert tone and any other notification haptics or features you've previously set up. Now let's learn how to set up name recognition, so your iPhone notifies you when someone says your name aloud. In the Sound and Name Recognition Accessibility settings, tap Name Recognition. Tap Set up Name Recognition and tap Next. Now, type your name. If you identify yourself by more than one name, you can add other ones later. Tap Next, and your iPhone will automatically generate a pronunciation. But you or a friend can record your own pronunciation instead. You'll be prompted to say your name 3 times. When you're ready, tap Record your pronunciation at the bottom of your screen.
Alberto, Alberto, Alberto.
When you're finished, tap Done. To add another version of your name, like a nickname, you can tap Add Name and repeat this process. Also, while name recognition is on, an orange dot appears at the top of your screen, indicating that the microphone is in use with this feature. Once you're done adding names, they appear on a list in your name recognition settings. From now on, you'll receive a notification whenever your device recognizes your name being spoken aloud.
Hey, Alberto.
And that's how to set up sound recognition and name recognition on your iPhone. Don't rely on your iPhone to recognize sounds or your name in circumstances where you may be harmed or injured, in high-risk or emergency situations, or for navigation. Name recognition is only available in English.
Comments or questions? One miscellaneous item: how to recover recently closed Safari tabs. Thanks to Tom Wells of Proper Honest Tech for this handy tip. Step 1, open the Safari app. Step 2, go to the tabs view. Tap on the ellipsis. Step 3, go to view all tabs. Step 4, open recently closed tabs, but notice it's long press on the button to get to the recently closed tabs. Step 5, choose whatever tab it is that you were looking for. So it seems kind of handy if you've closed some tab and let you get back to it. On to the Q&A. Social hour.
Anything else? related to the videos we saw? Bruce has got his hand up. You want to say something before we start a new recording? Bruce? Hello, Bruce. Are you muted, Bruce?
He's
My
muted.
apologies. Always on Copilot, Siri Copilot. Is that like
You need to unlock your iPhone first.
you heard that? Is that like, hey, Apple lady, turned on when you hear your name, or is it on all the time, listening?
Isn't it a Windows thing?
Yeah, with the Copilot thing, I don't know where they got this name from, but that's a microwave. I'm sorry, Microsoft.
Copilot is the name of Microsoft's version of Hey Lady. It helps you when it's irritating the heck out of people on Windows. It pops
Right.
up and gets in your way when you're trying to do things, and they're getting a lot of flack about it. I suppose you're going to tone it down. Okay, so we move on. Wait a minute, Mike's got his hand up. Somebody else does too. Who? Mike, you're muted.
Quick question. I had a problem with my watch charging on my charger. And so I spent 20 minutes digging through the original charger they send you. And I was thinking about getting one of those fast chargers for my watch. Is there anything to look out for? I mean, I see that there's a 20 watt, there's a 60 watt, there's a 100 watt. I don't know if
I don't think your watch, how fast can your watch charge? Newer phones have fast charging that you can charge them faster than what the Apple charger comes with. You can buy faster chargers. Even Apple will sell you a faster one.
Right, but I'd like one for my watch because I've had it on my charger and I go back 20 minutes later and it says it's charging, but it's draining.
Well, there's two chargers that come with the watch. There's this one that is all white, and there's this one that has metal on it.
Really?
The metal one, if you have the wattage on the charging unit that you're using, will allow your watch to charge at a faster rate. The old plastic one will not do a fast charge on the watch. I can charge my watch in about 40 minutes.
Well, that's what I was working on the premise too.
But how many watts does the thing you're plugging it into provide?
It's a standard one. I've got
Well, there's no standard.
Oh, you mean the USB wall wart?
Yeah, the block thing. This one has 2.1 and a 1.
No, the watch.
Should say wattage on it, but you look at it with a magnifying glass.
Like 20 watt or 40 watt. Yeah, you need one of those.
The little iPad ones, traditional white ones, are only 20.
Yes.
What's the max the watch can charge at? What can accept?
Yeah, or plug it into your laptop.
Yeah, hardwired in it. Don't do MagSafe, is probably the fastest.
Well, you still use a MagSafe. You use one of these guys to charge a watch.
Yeah, there's no hard wire for a watch.
All right, there's no hard wire, so you use MagSafe. Do watches have different charge rates for different series of watches?
I don't think so.
I don't think so, but these chargers are different.
Yeah, okay.
The one with the
But
metal
the watch
back is
the Apple
faster.
Watch charges pretty quickly.
Yeah.
No, I would say that my watch charges within 20 minutes from dead down all the way up. It's real quick.
Okay, well, here's the thing again. My charger, when it works, it's great. But like I said, 2 or 3 times this last month, I'll put it on and it says the little lightning bolts on there. It's charging. Come back half an hour later and it's got less than I started with. So I was looking to get a new one. And there are some, like I said, they're white. Let's see, where's the other? If I go on fast iWatch charger, there's a bunch of them.
I don't know.
Are you running into optimized charging?
I need to get a new watch charger because obviously that one's failing in some regard. and I wanted to know if I should try and find a fast charging one or just find a standard one, get one from Apple. And so I'm going on Amazon. And
I
there's
wouldn't
a,
use anything but Apple or Anchor. But here's a little gadget that is wonderful. I use it when I travel and I can plug everything into it. And it has USB ports. This is not the one I use for traveling because it's got mostly USB-A and one USB-C. But I have another one that I use that has all USB-C and one USB-A. And you can charge a bunch of devices on that, and it's really fast.
It's not. I wasn't thinking about the charging block so much as
that's the issue.
Oh, it is.
No, I don't think it is. I think his charger is not working quite right.
I'm wondering
It's
if
the contact with the Apple Watch that's the problem.
Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah. It has to be in good contact.
I think
Well, it's got like it's a magnet thing where you just put on the back. I put on the back of this, and it goes click into place. And it's like, okay, cool.
Yeah, well, then that's
And it could just be crapping out. Like I said, I was just going to get a new one. If there was anything I should look for, the wattage wise.
How old is it? I would just get the Apple one. Just
Costco has some deals on Anchor chargers. I think I got a 60-watt dual port charger, a pair of them at Costco for $39.
Mike, are you possibly running into stopping the charger at 80% because you're on optimized charging?
What?
Did you check the condition of the battery in the watch?
Say again?
The watch is maybe a year old at that. I don't know.
No.
That's the one you just bought?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that you won't have a problem there.
Yeah, I didn't think that would be an issue. Like I said, it seems to me to be the charger that I use. And that's a couple years old, and it was convenient. It worked. It was good for traveling, but I wanted to get a new one.
Yeah.
So I was curious if there was something I should be looking for. So it's the block. Okay.
I'll tell you what, I'll loan you one if you want to drop by.
Okay.
I got a good one I'll loan you.
Maybe I'll look at it just to see what it is and give it a
If it was all working with the setup you have before, then something's changed.
Yeah, the charger's gone to crap.
Well,
I had a charger in a stand I have for the iPhone that does the AirPods, the phone, and the watch. I don't have a watch, but the phone thing started not charging on and off, on and off, on and off. I sent it back and got another one on Amazon.
Don't overlook the
flaky.
cable. Don't overlook the cable.
Yeah. Well, it charges it does, what is it? AirPods.
It's all three. It's the three-way. It's not
watch, different places on there.
Yeah.
The pods I don't use. The phone, it works fantastic. But I know because when I put my phone up against it, it says, "Thank you, I needed that." So I know that it's charging. My watch, however, it just shows that little lightning bolt, and I assume if that's on, it's charging, but it's not always.
You can always select a dial face too with a complication that shows your battery condition. I have one watch face that I use, and down at the bottom, it's like right now, mine says 69% battery.
Well, my watch says the same thing. I got one up in the corner that says 52% right now.
Yeah, there you go.
And I said it gets down to like 10 or 12. I stick it on a charger because someone told me I should be monitoring my sleep better. So I sleep with it now so I can get my sleep score for some reason. And so I need to charge it when I get up.
I do that too, but I put it on the charger 30 minutes before I go to bed and it's ready to go.
Exactly. But then sometimes you get up and halfway, quarter of the way through your day, you're going, crap, I'm back down to 50.
And I put it on when I get up and I go to shave or whatever. I put it on the charger and it's ready to go.
Yeah, that's what I do. Put it on the charger when you get up.
Okay. I think this should be in Q&A. We never stopped the recording.
Oh, I thought we were.
I thought we were in Q&A.
No.
Oh.
I'll drink to that.
Okay, Carol, just hold on. We're going to start a new recording. We should have stopped this. Okay. DVMUG members, you want to find the rest of the Q&A will be on the DVMUG BBS, the link. And Stop.